Hello, good evening everyone. It's nice to be here again. It's 7:30 p.m. and it's time for a new story. I'm so excited. I hope you are as well. Today I'm gonna read you one of Disney's favorite bedtime stories. Today I choose story Sleeping Beauty, Aurora's Slumber Party. But first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Maya and I'm writer and I'm a meditation teacher and I love being with children. But most of all, I love to read stories and I also love to write stories. I create some audio meditative stories with FlowerFairy Flora. These are very special stories, which actually these are meditations and they help prepare for bed and they help prepare for a new day if you listen them in the morning. So I suggest that you check on the link below and see what actually these stories with FlowerFairy Flora are. But today we will read, like I said, one of the Disney's bedtime favorites. So prepare your ears. My two little friends are ready. I'm ready. Hope you are ready. So enjoy in story Sleeping Beauty, Aurora's Slumber Party. Princess Aurora loved being married to Prince Philip and living at the castle. But she missed her friends, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They were the fairies who'd raised her in a cottage in the woods to protect her from an evil spell and were like aunts to her. One day, Philip told her he had to visit another kingdom for a couple of days. Why don't you have friends over a while I'm away? He suggested. That's a wonderful idea, Aurora replied. I'll invite them to a slumber party. The princess worked all evening making invitations. She sent them out the very next day. Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather were quite excited when they got their invitations. The fairies arrived at the castle that night with their wands ready to use their magic. We don't need magic to have fun, said Aurora. There are all kinds of things to do, but first you need to change into your nightgowns. This is a slumber party after all. A little while later, the fairies began to get hungry. I'll use a spell to make some food, said Merryweather. We have bread, butter, strawberries and cream right here, Aurora pointed out. You can make yourself a wonderful snack without using magic. This is fun, Merryweather exclaimed as she made herself a triple-decker berry sandwich. It looked so good that other fairies raced over to make their own. When Flora bit into hers, a dollop of cream flew across the room right onto Aurora's face. Oops, Flora said. I'm sorry, Princess. But Aurora wasn't upset. In fact, it made her giggle. Soon everyone was laughing. The party was off to a great start. Come over here, everyone, Aurora called. It's time for a talent show. Who wants to begin? Merryweather decided to go first. She pulled out her wand and pointed it at herself. Suddenly, her nightgown started changing colors. First, it was blue, Then it was pink. Then it was orange. No, 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 Aurora cried. The fairies stared at her in surprise. What I mean to say is that looks wonderful, but let's not use magic. The fairies were puzzled, but our magic is our talent, Fauna said. It's not your only talent, though, Aurora insisted. She grabbed Fauna by the hand and began to sing and dance. Soon the fairy was whirling around the room with her. Hurrah! Flora and Merryweather cheered. Then Flora ended the show with a lively dance routine of her own. A little later, Fauna had an idea. Let's make a surprise for the morning, she suggested. I don't want to do anything that's going to take a long time, Merryweather grumbled. Why don't we make some cinnamon rolls? Aurora offered. They gathered ingredients and began to make the dough. While they waited for the dough to rise, the princess suggested to do something else. The friends went upstairs, and Flora grabbed a pillow and swung it at Aurora. The princess ducked and grabbed a pillow of her own. A few minutes later, Feather covered the room, and Aurora and the fairies were out of the breath from laughing. It's probably time to finish the rolls, Aurora said. She and the fairies went down to the kitchen and saw the ball of dough had become the size of table. What could have happened? Aurora cried. I may have used a teensy bit of magic, Merryweather admitted. I just wanted to finish up quickly. That's all right, Aurora said with a yawn. We'll have enough for the whole kingdom. Fauna pulled her wand out. I think a little more magic would make this a lot faster. A few minutes later, all the rolls were done. Aurora and the fairies went back upstairs. Let's read a story, the princess suggested. Flora began to read, and after a few minutes, everyone was sleepy. This has been a wonderful slumber party, Aurora said. Thanks for coming. Good night, fairies. Good night, princess, the fairies replied. And very soon they all drifted off to sleep. And that's the end of our story. So, children, we read lovely Disney's Bedtime story from this book. We see that Aurora and her fairies had a lovely party. So maybe you can ask your parents if you have it before you're sleeping. And I hope you will enjoy it just a little bit. And from today, we are finished. I wish you just good sleeping and nice dreams. And see you tomorrow. Good night.